Mark Namaswa. Let's now speak to Willie Lusige from Western Kenya. Willie, good morning. Another consignment, only this time in Western Kenya. What are you hearing, putting in mind the sugarcane farming and indeed sugar industry are the core businesses of Western Kenya?
Good morning, Ashley. It's good to see you also on Eid. Actually, yesterday, a consignment of sugar, which is a fake sugar amounting to 250 million shillings that we had noted earlier, was seized in a warehouse which is suspected to belong to Pan-African paper industry in Webuye. And this sugar was packaged into 50 kg bags, but the total number of bags was 59,000 bags, which now translates to, I think, 2,450 tons. And this sugar was being repackaged into what we call the normal sugar that we buy in the supermarkets. And as we were speaking to some of the police officers and investigators at the scene, they really noted that the sugar was imported using documents belonging to West Kenya Sugar Factory. This is one of the largest sugar factory in Western region, which produces the highest percent of sugar that we can buy and the highest percent of sugar that we use in our houses. So the main questions was why this factory was importing another amount of sugar which was labeled on the bags that it was not safe for human consumption. And I checked some of the bags, it was labeled brown sugar and not for sale. But the management was not able to tell us why they had imported such a huge amount of sugar and what was the intention of using it. So yesterday we saw investigation taking place. Police surrounded the whole warehouse and tried to make sure that no one will get in or even go out. But apart from that, also journalists were barred from getting into the facility. But later in the afternoon around 6 p.m., the same investigators and officials from DCI office in Nairobi went further from Bungoma County, where the sugar was seized, and came to Kakamega County, where we have the main office or the main factory for the West Kenya sugar industry, where also they ran their search and gave a speech or a presser at the end of that search, which happened around 7 p.m. towards 8. And they really confirmed that they had seized 59,000 bags of sugar, which was illegal, and it was also not for human consumption, which was being repackaged at that warehouse, which has noted, I've already noted, is believed to belong to Pan-African paper millers in Webuye. So the main question that we are still waiting is to see what will be the finding, because some government agencies, especially KEBS and other, the government also chemists were there, and they took some samples to go and verify if it really contains some harmful elements, as we have seen previously. That sugar that was seized in Isli and even on Mombasa Road contained a little bit amount of elements that are harmful to our health, especially mercury and even copper. So we are still waiting for the findings. The police officers who are in charge of that search really indicated that they will give us a final report on Monday, or if it's too late, they'll give their final findings on Tuesday. But for now, they have barred the West Kenya Sugar Factory not to sell any sugar which is already in the factory. So they are not allowed. Yesterday, while we were speaking to the management, they really confirmed that the government has barred them to sell any sugar that is within the factory until the final findings are given. And this comes just a few days after the CS for Interior, Fred Matiang'i, visited Western Region, and he went further to Busia, a border point, where he lamented that some officials at that border were being involved in some funny businesses where fake sugar, illegal and contraband goods were being allowed into the country. And it's really shocking to see that some of these sugar contain elements that are not very healthy. They are harmful, such as mercury and even copper. So we're just asking, and we are just questioning the integrity of Kenyans. What is happening to our morals if we can sell to our brothers such kind of sugar which is harmful to them? And apart from that, also last night in Bungoma town, another consignment that I've not even confirmed how much was the sugar, but was also seized in a shop, but we believe is also a large number. And the police have said that they'll give an official statement in the course of the day, but for the picture that we have received, it is officially that they have also seized another consignment of sugar in Bungoma town, and now they're transporting it to the DCIO office in Bungoma. So we'll be keeping an eye to find out what was happening, maybe who are behind this business where illegal and fake sugar has been coming into the country, especially using the border points at the border between Kenya and Uganda, which is Malava and even Busia. But as Matiang'i was speaking, he lamented that the notorious border point was Busia, where this sugar was coming through and then being taken to some industries in Western region, repackaged using the normal sugar companies that we know. Most of them are favorites, and that's why we end up even getting held, because some of this sugar has not been satisfied by KEBS. And finally, as actually I wind up, I think this is also another challenge that has led to the death of some industries in Western region, especially like Mumia Sugar Company and even Zoea. And we saw that some officials were really questioning why these industries died, or they're not now working, because they have been commenting that some politicians from Western region and some business people have been involved in this fishy business where they import sugar and repackage it using the labels of the known companies. But those are comments, or those are issues that we have not fully approved, but we are still waiting for the government to give an official statement on Monday, or if it will be late on Tuesday, and we'll make sure that we provide that information to our viewers. Ashley.
Lusige, as you have mentioned, this has caused the dying of some factories, the closing down of some factories. How are residents reacting, considering that most of the residents work in these factories?
When we were speaking to some locals here early in the morning, they are also still shocked, because you know these are farmers of sugarcane and they depend on these factories which buy their sugarcane, process it into sugar, and that's why they can generate their revenue. So they're asking, they want to know the truth about what has been happening in those all industries, and they want to know what will be the final findings, who has been involved in this business, and maybe some of them were speculating that maybe in the course of the week we shall also be seeing some protest from the farmers wanting to know what has been happening in these industries. Has this been the reason why sugarcane farming projects in the Western region have been failing? Because these industries do produce sugar, but when you go there and ask them where they buy their sugarcane, some of them are not able. And even this consignment that was seized yesterday did not have specific documentations to show why that sugar was imported. Ashley.
Thank you very much, Willie Lusige, for those insights. Of course, this is a story that he will be following up on. But now we want to take a short break here on News Center. When we come back, we will be telling you about the 19-year-old who has President Uhuru's cape. You don't want to miss that, so don't flip the channel.